I've never met him. This is my first time meeting him, and he actually passed me on the way to get up to the stage. He rubbed up against me. We came this close to a grease fire. Come to find out, Big T is a little bit gangsta, which isn't surprising because I saw him down at the corner slanging pie. Little known fact is that Big T's street name is Amistad because he has the dignity of 200 black men. What are you thinking? Fucking racist. Did I say dignity? I meant body fat index. Too far. All right. This is awesome. Chris! Let's hear it for Chris over there, huh? Chris is here because he was kicked out of his D&D club for being the nerd. It's a shame because he's the cute one. I like it. He tells this crazy story. I don't know if anybody's heard this, but he tells this really crazy story that he lost his virginity to the second cousin of the Unabomber. He lost his virginity? The fuck? Anyone buying that? I don't know. I think Chris told me that apparently 2 years ago his mom died, and I look at Chris and I go, good for her. The other option is she's just in hiding, Chris. Sorry, bro. She's witness protection programming out of that one.
Keep talking, Columbine.
Everybody, let's hear it for Jordan, huh? I gotta say, I've never met Jordan. I know absolutely nothing about him, which makes me part of his fan base. Clark Little over here. Never has a last name been so wasted. The poor man's Ambien, this guy. You'll see in a second. I think he's got like the hipster chemotherapy thing going on there. It's a nice look, Clark. Keep that up, buddy. And let's see, Juggalos. I love the Juggalos. Let's turn to the Juggalos, shall we? And Jay over here. Let's hear it for Jay. Oh, sorry, I had one for Clark. We'll get back to Juggalos. It said Clark is the only man I know who ejaculates depression. Juggalos, the minimum wage fish head. Okay. I guess I'm dating myself on that one. I think the fact that, what's that?
No one else really said.
I didn't get that, okay. Anyways, I like the fact, this is the, Jay without the makeup looks like the Mumford son that they hide in the attic. I know he's adopted the hipster beard thing because he wants to get pussy. Apparently he doesn't know you're not supposed to, like, staple it to your face. Oh, man. And I think that is, let's see, I got one more about Juggalos here. I hope or I suck. All right. Everybody, let's hear it for Jay. And let's get Dro back on stage. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Tom Smith. Yeah, Tom. Next comic coming up to the stage. I want you to give a nice and friendly welcome. No, fuck that. Let's get a woo woo for Star.
All right, keep it going for your host. Dro here is so awesome. He really has it all except looks, talent, and aspirations. Dro's body language, I don't even know if you noticed, but his body language is so jerky. It's like a jazz musician coming off heroin. There's scatting and a beat no one hears. But really, it's an honor to be here with a lineup of such talented comedian. Sorry, I gotta make this a little lower. I'm short. All right. Clark, let's see, there are some recognizable faces tonight. For example, you might know Clark from that time he came to your door to let you know your neighbor is a registered sex offender, who's about 5'4", wears tracksuits, and looks a lot like a pedophile.
5'4".
5'3", I'm sorry. Clark is actually from Mississippi. He's from Mississippi, where the average IQ is so low, they actually asked him to leave just to bring it up a few points. He's so dumb, he thinks Mississippi's official state beverage container is the sippy cup. On his 21st birthday, it took him an hour just to drink a beer, like... Big T. In Big T's bio, he said that he likes to have sex specifically with women who were born women, as opposed to the women who are actually willing to fuck him. Chris over here, he lost his virginity to the cousin of the Unabomber, which was mentioned, and I know that's hard to believe, but I Googled it, and it turns out he really has had sex. Unfortunately, the video evidence was destroyed over fears that ISIS would use it for psychological torture. Tom Smith. After 15 years in comedy, Tom Smith clearly can't take a hint. We also have Cheryl. Cheryl, you're a mom, a comedian, you host a dating podcast. I honestly don't know how you manage to do nothing all day. You do have my sympathy, Cheryl, because you're a widow, but please stop talking about your dead husband on stage. If I wanted a disgusting image with a corpse in my head, I'd imagine myself fucking Jay. That reminds me, what's black and white and red all over? Jay's mouth when his girlfriend's on her period. So sorry. There'll be a few more like that. Speaking of the guest of honor, let me explain a few things about juggalos. They wear black and white face paint because covering their features is almost always an improvement. It's the only time in history when someone's worn blackface and everyone else has been like, no, 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 keep it on. The Gathering is a Juggalo festival that's basically like Burning Man, but for ignorant, overweight Bud Light douchebags. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant Keystone Ice douchebags. The only difference is that at Burning Man, you might catch an STD. At the Gathering, you might catch fetal alcohol syndrome. While at this family, Juggalos call while at the festival, Juggalos call each other family, but they're really only family in 3 places: the Gathering, the Olive Garden, and an incest survivors meeting. I don't know why they're called Juggalos. You're a gang, not a dinner option from Chef Boyardee. Whoop, whoop. Oh shit, I shouldn't say that, that's their mating call. It's also the sound of 1,000 Juggalo dogs being anally violated. They only shout whoop whoop to cover up the sound of So sorry. In a documentary about the Gathering, there's a part where one of the juggalettes, that's like a female juggalo, she says she, quote, wants to be a porn star. First of all, no one wants to see a clown fucking. Second, no one wants to see a clown fucking, especially if it's Jay.
Speak for yourself.
Also, why would she say that she wants to be a porn star? The porn industry is not difficult for a woman to break into, even if you're Cheryl. Because when it comes to porn, it's the talent that's stiff, not the competition. Jay here goes by the nickname Grim, which is a perfect description of his job prospects. He's a 35-year-old bouncer, which, let's be honest, that's sadder than Chris's sex life. Jay's tweets are so ignorant, they make me question the theory of evolution. He's so dumb, he saw hashtag Oscars so white and responded with hashtag Shaq so black. At concerts, Jay and his idiot family spray so much jizz, Faygo soda, that venues now put out protective plastic. Of course, the importance of protection was a lesson they could have learned way earlier if they just talked to Jay's mom. And on that note, thank you for letting me make fun of you, Jay. You have been a really great sport, and also, seriously, don't reproduce. Thank you, guys.
One more time for Star. Let's get some whoop-woos going. Whoop-whoop. Whoa. If you thought that hair was amazing, you're gonna love your next comic. Give it up for Jordan Sevendera.
Oh boy. Well, let's give a big thanks to the Tapatio guy for letting his son out of the house to host us on a Friday night, huh? There we go. Thank you so much, Tapatio man. Oh boy. Dro works on a golf course. He's the first Mexican to ever work at a golf course that didn't have to cut the grass. That's pretty nice. He also used to work at a bookstore as a book clerk, and apparently that job didn't require any experience with books. No? Okay, fine. I know it might sound racist, but even though Dro has never worked for a landscaping company, every time I hear his voice, I am reminded of a weed eater. Dro! No, okay, no. Star is openly bisexual, and she's married, so no one cares. Star is the perfect name for someone that's used to dying on stage in silence of space and time. That's really good. No, I'm kidding. She is a lot like a star. A 1-star Yelp review of a 2-star hotel. Okay. There is something that we obviously share, Star and I, this hair. So I know for a fact that the carpet matches the curtain, Star. It's a fucking mess down there, huh? You need some farming equipment to get through that. Boy. Oh my God. Chris Berlick. Love seeing this kid. So nice. A guy that's 7 years older than me and still manages to look like his voice could crack at any second and send him right into puberty. That's just amazing. Chris is a tech consultant. He advises business owners all over the Bay Area on how to use computers to never get laid. That's right. Oh man. How can a person that knows something as complex as to how to fix a computer not figure out how to make a joke work on stage? I don't know. That's sad. Tom Smith is here. He didn't have much to say about me, but boy do I have plenty to say about him. Tom used to work a hot dog cart, and he lost that job because that business lost way too much money while he was manning the hot dog cart. I'm just kidding. Tom sounds like a pretty respectable guy. He used to serve in the Navy as a buoy. I've never seen someone so buoyant look like they just drowned on stage. Tom works at Starbucks now, and the hottest 5 minutes that Tom has involves a very complicated drink order and a steam wand. That's right, that's maybe too comic oriented. Starbucks is actually the only place that Tom talks to women. But not a latte, you know? Oh, double shot! Oh, that was dumb. Big T's here. Hey, Big T, how you doing? Big T's worked in the strip clubs for a long time in multiple positions. And that's where he earned his nickname, Big T. Short for Big Thong. Short for Big Thong, 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 thong. Oh boy. The strip club is the only place where he can get an audience to make it clap. That's it. That's the only comic that knows how to work a pole better than a mic stand. That's right. Now, I actually heard Big T is a social activist. A lot of stuff going on with the police and black people, and I'm glad that he stood up to it. I was at an open mic recently with Big T, and an altercation had brought the police in. When a cop came in and heard Big T tell a joke, he actually killed himself. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Big T. Oh my goodness. Clark Little works at a warehouse where he apparently hides his comedy career because I have no fucking clue who he is. I'm kidding. You have a mustache that makes women want to cover their drinks when you walk into a bar. I heard that Clark is colorblind and lactose intolerant. And I feel like looking like a piece of blue cheese with a mustache might be hard for him to come to the realization. That was a stretch, but why did you tell us that you were colorblind and lactose intolerant? I really wanted there to be a joke in that, but there just fucking wasn't. Speaking of a joke not in there, Cheryl White, everyone. Oh my God. It's crazy that Cheryl hosts a dating podcast because the last time Cheryl went on a date, they called it courting. Cheryl has a tiny dog that she loves to go on hikes with. She loves her tiny dog because it's easy to control, unlike her 2 failed marriages. That's oh, ouch. The fact that Cheryl used to teach English is pretty amazing to me. I mean, like, think about all the parts of speech that she understands, verbs and adjectives and nouns, compounds, all the stuff, all the past participles and, I don't know, conjunctions. She still can't figure out how to make a premise meet a punchline. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. No, I'm not going to say that, Cheryl. I like you too much. That's true. On to the Juggalo! Hey, it's Jay, everyone. Jay hosts a podcast called Not Suitable for Work. Wow, the irony. That's pretty amazing. I think juggalos tend to paint their faces to hide all of the sadness and how much they hate themselves. But I was just wondering, do whippets make it impossible for you to discern what good music is? Is that what's going on? Maybe you just can't hear right. I don't know. I feel like your mothers could feel the failure in your fetuses and they all C-section themselves with hatchets to get you out of there. I don't know. It's crazy that juggalos are so family-oriented. Because I used to think that ICP stood for insanely careless parents. Is that not it? Juggalos are the only type of fat people that I've seen waste soda. That is amazing. I never would have thought that was a thing that could happen. I would rather spend the night in bed with the clown from Stephen King's It than listen to a juggalo earnestly call out, whoop whoop. That is... Whoop whoop. I wish I was getting fucked by the scariest clown ever right now. Oh my God. The only thing stickier than a juggalo after a Faygo shower is their mother on prom night in the clown car that you were all conceived in. That's gross. Oh man, well, it's been a really fun time to sit here and talk shit on you. I really feel bad for you. That's how I'm gonna leave. Bring up Dro, everybody!
Jordan 7 era, guys. We got one more comic left, and then we're gonna bring on Jay the Juggalo for his revenge. But right now, I want you to put your hands together for Clark W. Little.
Hey, Clark!
Shut up. Give a hand for Dro, huh? Yeah, good job, Dro. You've been surprisingly coherent. First of all, before I go down the line and relentlessly produce a diuretic shit down everyone's fucking throat, let me make something very clear to you unoriginal chuckle fucks. Do you think this is the first time anyone's ever called me a pedophile? Please, that's my entire act, okay? I was actually called a pedophile last week, okay? First of all, I said, whoa, take it easy. Well, first of all, that's a big word for a third grader. No one makes fun of Clark Little like Clark Little, so fuck you. Now on to the show. Dro smokes more weed than a chemo patient. Dro doesn't have cancer, he simply is one. Honestly, just wait till after the show he's gonna ask for cigarettes from you. Star is here. Star Zaga, how do you say your last name? Zagat, that's stupid. You have a stupid last name. That's dumb. Fuck your ancestors, dude. That's stupid. Star says that she is bi. That's because that's the first thing she hears at all of her dates. Bye! This side of the room, you need to pick up the pace a little bit, alright? These guys up front, they're on board, okay? Daddy's cooking with grease up here. Let's get going. Alright? Big T. Big T, here we go. Where are you? That turning of the page brought to you by Bob Seger. I was on board for it. Big T, or as I like to call him, Suge Knight, now with more diabetes. Big T comes from East Oakland.
Yep.
East Oakland, a place where even a Syrian refugee is like, nah, I'm good. Now, I've known Big T a little bit, and Big T makes a point and that says that he loves white pussy, as he calls it. I don't call it that, I'm a gentleman. He says, oh, I love white pussy. Now, Big T, as a member of the evil Aryan race, I'm here to tell you that reparations are probably not going to happen. So as a member of the evil empire, I'm here to tell you, have as much white pussy as you want to, my friend, okay? Just don't drink out of our fountain. At least be a gentleman and go out the back. That's all I'm saying. I said, that's not a bad joke. Yeah, it's racism. I'm from Mississippi, that's our #1 export. Get with the program. It's the way it's gonna be. Cheryl is here. Cheryl, you look like if Janis Joplin pulled through. Cheryl hosts a podcast called Date Talk. You're old, Cheryl. You should switch to prunes. You get it? Because you're old and you're probably really constipated, so you probably don't take a shit every day. So prunes would help you take a shit. Because you're good at taking a shit on the stage, but it's off the stage where your old colon has problems. I'm gonna stop with the bit, Cheryl. It's grossing me out. All right. Jordan is here. Jordan, you kind of look like Jesus if he just said, you know, fuck this resurrection shit, I'm gonna open up a coffee-ria. It's like a taqueria and a coffee place. I'm gonna be 100% honest with all of you kids today. I did not mean to say coffee-ria. But it doesn't sound like a bad thing. If any of you steal that, if any of you juggle fucks steal that, that's mine. We good? We good. Whoop whoop. Now. Alright. I can't read because of the alcohol. Here we go.
Me neither.
My friend Tom Smith is here. Thomas, you look like if Bruce Valanche became a skinhead. Again, that's not my strongest joke. I got more. Tom, that's a nice jacket. You look like if Silent Bob was even more pathetic. But that is an excellent jacket. I think I've seen it cover the infield of AT&T Park. Tom, they say that comedy comes from pain and suffering. Don't you believe that, Tom? I believe that. Tom, if that saying is true, then your kneecaps must write your punchlines. Because no one is going through more pain and suffering than your kneecaps. Because they're holding up your enormous fat ass. All right, where we go? Chris, you're here somewhere. Just there we go. Chris, thank you for being here. So now that I am not the only uncaught predator in the room. Chris, your talent is 100% deniable. You should do something that's more suited to your strengths. Like perhaps join